Hello A-level student, my name is Dikunima Anapol. In this video, I'm going to help those students who are suffering to get A positive grade in biology specifically. So today video, I'm going to talk about biology senior 4, specifically unit 1. This video, it is episode 1, so to mean that in another episode, I'm going to talk unit 2, until to the end of senior 4. If possible, I will help you to start the senior 5 biology specifically, or the unities there, and also biology senior 6. What I'm requesting you is to make subscribe. Then once you make subscribe and then you follow all my videos, you're going to get A positive biology. Then this biology, I'm going to make it fun like this. So I'm making this video specifically for those students who are doing MCB, PCB. Means once you have biology in your course, sit down and come here with me, and then I have to teach you and then get A positive grade in your biology advanced level diploma. So means your A2 diploma is going to have A grade in biology specifically. So those who are studying Candida Libre, all of them come here, sit down, then follow me. Usually the table of agenda of today, we're going to talk about unit 1, which is introduction to biodiversity. So this is the unit 1 in senior 4 Rwandan new curriculum. So this unit, it is very important in the national examination, because you're going to see one of the questions talking about biodiversity, either definition, importance of biodiversity, and so on and so forth. But when we come here on the Simpson index or Simpson formula, I request you to come and sit down together with me. Then because you are going to see the question in your national examination. So, and also there is other techniques to check abundance of the organism. Means you should make, when you are making survey, to know about the how many species, how many organisms in the center, in the environment, which techniques to use, called their sampling techniques to access the distribution and abundance of organisms. So at the end of this video, this type of content, this agenda we're going to cover, they're going to be like a piece of cake. Welcome. So first things you are supposed to understand, it is introduction to biodiversity. So this biodiversity, it is studied in the science called ecology. When we say ecology is the study of interaction between living organisms and their environment, focusing on the relations within the ecosystem. So when they ask you what is ecology, two words supposed to be there. There is number 1, interaction or relationship, and the environment. So in ecology, it is a science which study interaction of living organism within their environment. So to mean that when you are studying the relationship between like a cow and a tick, you know cow, it is the host, tick is a parasite. So those relationships are studied in the ecology. Can be either mutualism, can be either commensalism. Those relationships, when you are studying them in the environment, we call this one ecology. So I hope you are understanding that when it asks you ecology, you should say that, sir, ecology is a study of interaction of organism within their environment. So let's continue by understanding very well, very important ecological term. Among the ecological term, number 1, which is very important, it is a species. Many people, they understand species, but they don't know exact what are the keywords to put in your definition. When we come here, the species is a group of organisms that can interbreed and produce fertile offspring. At least here you are done. You're going to get your marks. Means species are a group of organisms that can interbreed and produce fertile offspring. To mean that the organism which can make fertilization, means their gametes, they can meet, and the zygote or the young one they produce, they are also able to make to produce their young ones. So those organisms are species. For example, like when you take a goat and goat, they can make sex, they can produce the young one, that young one of the goat also can meet with another goat, then can produce young one. So means the species are, the organism are called to be species once they can interbreed and then produce fertile offspring. So there's also, they should share common characteristics and genetic makeup as is understandable, means they should have same ancestors, and then even their genetic makeup should be sharing the common. Not only species but also population. Population, to define the population, it is easy. Usually people, they know population are the group of people, only just peoples. But in ecology, when we say population, it is any group of individuals of the same species living in a specific area and can interbreed. This interbreed, it is from the species. They are the same species, means they can interbreed as usual. So population, what I want to keep, are a group of organisms or individuals specifically from the same species. They live in a specific area at a particular place. That is population. Please note in your head that once they ask you what is population, you should say they are a group of organisms from the same species that live in a particular area. You are done. You are going to get your marks. So when you come to community, means community, you are going to combine many things. Means community is a group of organisms from different species. The species are different. So to mean that they are living in a particular place at a given time. So let me have a look on this definition here. It is assemblage of different population or species that live together in a particular habitat and interaction with each other. So a little the coming slide, I'm going to teach you what is habitat, but now habitat, it is a place where organisms are living. So to mean that community simply is a group of individuals of different species that live in a specific area. Yes, that is the definition of the community. Thank you. Verb to keep in the community is say that are groups of organisms first from different species that live together in a particular place. Thank you. So in this ecological term, let's continue by talking about ecosystem. Usually, ecosystem, a simple definition. Ecosystem means community plus environment. It means ecosystem, we have organism of different species, cow, goat, sheep, each, then they are living in that environment are called ecosystem. So ecosystem, once you're understanding that it is also environment with their or organisms, means they are biotic and abiotic in that environment. When you say biotic are those living things, then abiotic are non-living things there. So let you have a look. Ecosystem, as I have said, is a community living organism and their physical environment interacting as system. So when they ask you what is ecosystem, sir, ecosystem is community plus environment. You are done. Thank you. Biodiversity, usually when we say bio is life. When we say diversity are the difference. In Kinyarwanda we say urusobe rw'ibinyabuzima. So biodiversity usually it is a variety of life. Simply as it is. Variety of life. Variety of life where? In a particular habitat or ecosystem. Composed by what? They can be either. They can be varieties in species. They can be varieties in genetics. They can be varieties in ecosystem. Means in your ecosystem you have a variety of species. Thank you. You have a variety of genetics makeup. Thank you. You have a variety of ecosystem. Ecosystem can be either terrestrial, they can be either aquatic, and so on and so forth. Genetics, you have human being. Human being can be either different from color change. They can be either different from the heights. Species, they can be either people. They can be either sheep. They can be either goat, and so on and so forth. So, means biodiversity, simply as it is a variety of life in organism living in a particular habitat. So means once you are talking about biodiversity, we are talking about all living organism in the world. So this biodiversity should understand, because once they ask you importance of biodiversity, means the same as to ask importance of living organism living in the world. So let we have a look on habitat. We have seen the previously that it is a place where organisms live. I'm not going to change the definition of habitat. So usually the natural environment where organism lives are called habitat. So importance of this habitat: it produces food, shelter, mates for reproduction. Thank you for your understanding. So let you have a look on another terms, very important, which is called the niche. You know, in the forest, we call that lion is umwami w'ishyamba. Usually, some organisms, they have the unique role in their ecosystem. So, means that role or function of the organism within the ecosystem. Means role played by organism in ecosystem is called niche, umwami w'ishyamba. That is an example. So, you should understand that they are including its habitat, resource use, interaction with other organisms. For instance, here, our example of cow and tick. Cow is the host, tick is the parasite. Those roles are called niche. Role played by organism in environment are called niche. Thank you so much. Those are all about ecological terms. I hope you are enjoying the course. If you are enjoying this course, I'm telling you that even the next unity, I'm going to make it like this. Now your body is going to be enjoyable. Believe me, you're going to get A positive in your national examination. So let's continue by talking about food chain. Food chain, as you are saying, it is food, and the chain means are the chain of the food. Means the food are in movement. Sun falling on the earth, then the plant are going to make photosynthesis. Now the plant are going to get glucose. Glucose, herbivores are going to eat that grasses. Those animals are called herbivores. After herbivores are eating grasses, those carnivores are coming and eat herbivores. Now carnivores get that energy, the herbivores get, then continue until human being, until terrestrial consumer. Now the bacteria is decomposing everything. Remember, from everything on the earth will be dead, specifically you also you will die at the one day. But before you die, let you work hard, then you can achieve what God created us. Thank you. Food chain is a linear sequence of organisms through which nutrients, energy pass as one organism eats another. So simply, what is food chain? Food chain, it is a linear sequence that show how organism is eaten by another. Thank you. So here we have organism which is called the producer. Specifically here you can say plant. For example, you can say like grasses. So let me have the marker. So you can say that here I have the glasses. Okay, this glasses is eaten by primary consumer, which is maybe you can say cow. So here we can say cow. Now primary consumer are eaten by secondary consumer. Here we can say S, secondary consumer. Secondary consumer, here we can say like cow usually can be eaten by human being. Or let you remove human being, let we say like cow is eaten by lion. Apart from the lion, so lion also can be eaten by, I can say bacteria, or let me say another organism which can eat the lion is called the tertiary consumer. So a little bit, I'm going to show you an example of food chain. Stay tuned. So there is also things called food web. When we say food web, are complex series of interconnected food chain, as simple as it is. Food web is the series of interconnected food chain. Means that many food chains together when we make many food chains together, are going to call what we call food web. Means are complex network of feeding relationships among organisms in ecosystem, illustrating how energy and nutrients flow. So simply, let me teach you what is food web. So here, as you are seeing, this is the picture of the food web. So the organism which can make their own food are called producer. Thank you so much. Those organisms are called producer. So apart from the producers, means any organism which is eating the producer are called primary consumer. Primary consumer. But those primary consumer, let me change color. I am seeing the color are the same. Wait a little bit. I have to change color. Thank you. This organism here are called primary consumer. This is a primary consumer. The other name are called herbivorous because they eat grasses. So this is primary consumer. The organism which will eat the primary consumer, like this one, like this, are called secondary consumer. So the organism which will eat secondary consumer are not called thirdary consumer. No, are called tertiary consumer. So means either this or this are carnivorous, but this one are called top. This one it is also called tertiary consumer, are called also top carnivorous. So means here you are seeing there is many food chain like this corn, grasshopper, rat, pythons, and the eagle. This is the one food chain. So let me change. Here also, here also. That is another example of the food chain. Now when you connect all of them, you are going to have everything. It means when you connect all of them, what you are going to have, when you connect all of them, you're going to have what you call food web. So thank you. As you are seeing here, after understanding the ecological term, let me have a look on the level of biodiversity. Means what are like types of biodiversity? Means biodiversity are of what are the levels. Level number 1 means they are variates of ecosystem. Level number 1, variate of species. Number 2, and even variates of the genetic makeup, their genes. So the level of biodiversity number 1 are genetical diversity, means variation in genetic makeup among individuals within species. Okay, this is level number 1, means organisms are the difference in their genetic makeup, their DNA are difference, means those variate of the difference in the genes are called genetic diversity. So it allows population to adapt the changing environment. It means as we are having different genetic makeup, means they make us the difference in the terms of adaptation to the environment. Like when there is climate change, you know, some people they can suffer to some illness, but other they are still strong. You know, some people they are usually suffering every day, but other from their age of 1, they don't know what is hospital. Other is the variates in the species within the specific area. Here, there is a specific term we will talk what you call species richness and species awareness. So we will understand that the species richness, it is the amount, how many species do we have in our ecosystem. Now, that is what we call species richness. Now, species evenness, abundance of the species means we have a species which is called maybe Homo sapiens. How many Homo sapiens do we have? Means amount of individuals in a single species is called species evenness. Thank you. Means understanding the variety of species within the specific area, it is called species diversity. It will help us to understand now species richness and species awareness. So Another level of biodiversity, it is called ecosystem diversity. To mean that here ecosystem diversity, it is talking about the variates, means the range in the different ecosystem is given in a given area, encompassing the various habitats, community, ecological process. Means this variety of ecosystem means how many ecosystem are there. Means land, terrestrial, or other where organism they can live. So I hope you are able to list out and explain. It means here it is a variety of ecosystem we have in our environment, a variety of the species you have in our environment. Means diversity means variety, a variety of genetic makeup you have in the environment. Thank you so much. So, A student, grade biology, how are you? I hope you are doing well. I'm going to make the biology fun. I hope you are still together with me. Let me talk about the importance of biodiversity. Very wonderful. This question is very, very important in the biology exam. Importance of biodiversity. I told you biodiversity, it is a variety of life in ecosystem. Means all organisms we have in ecosystem, what is the importance? Here it's like to say, what is the importance of plants? What is the importance of animals? To me that this is very, very easy, very understandable. Means, sir, importance of the biodiversity, he told me that biodiversity are a variety of life in the ecosystem. Means, in that variety of life, you have a plant, and also you have animals. In the plants they give us medicine, they give us food. Plants, they can help us to make decoration. Animals, they give us meat. Some like those plants like a forest, they attract the rainfall, they protect soil erosion. Means once you meet with the importance of the biodiversity, think biodiversity as plant and biodiversity as animals, and then state the importance of the animals. Animals give food, plants attract rainfall, it gives us oxygen through photosynthesis, and so on and so forth. So let me start by high energy. Number one, importance of biodiversity, it helps in ecosystem stability. So diverse ecosystems are more resilient to disturbance and change, maintaining the balance and the function. Means once you are having a high amount of the organism, they make ecosystem stability. Means once you have seen that here there is many diversity. Means as you are having many organisms here, means your ecosystem are going to be stable. Means environment are very, very, very stable. So let me continue by understanding the next point. Next point, it is economical benefit. Means biodiversity gives support industries like agriculture, making drugs, pharmaceutical means making drugs, tourism, contributing to economic growth. So I hope these importance are understandable. So there is a food security. Once you have plants, once you have animals, you are going to get food. There is no problem of famines, the crops are there. There is medical resources. As I said, the many medicines are derived from the plants and animals. Biodiversity is crucial for discovering a new drugs. Thank you. There is climate regulation. As I have said, biodiversity includes the plants, forest, wetland. They play significant role in the carbon sequestration, means to remove, and then in the process called photosynthesis, and also there is climate regulation. Thank you so much. So another importance of biodiversity are cultural significance. Biodiversity, it is integral to the cultural identification, heritage to the many communities, influencing traditional and practices. You know that there is some different decoration, means different ways. Like when you go to Catholic Church, there is some things which are there, but like in forms of the flowers. Those flowers means when you see there, you can say that this is a place of the playing. Means another importance of biodiversity, specifically there is pollination and seed dispersal. Like various species contribute pollination, like insects are pollinator agents. So seed dispersal and then essential for plant reproduction and ecosystem and human health. So final are soil health. You know, among the biodiversity, remember, I will teach you the next unit called classification. I will teach you what you call kingdoms. Among the kingdoms, there is kingdom Monera. Among the kingdom Monera, we have an example called the bacteria. So bacteria is among also the organism. Means some bacteria are help in soil fertility. Soil health means importance of the biodiversity, specifically bacteria, their importance in making soil health. Biodiversity contribute soil fertility, structure, supporting agricultural productivity and then ecosystem service. So, what are the threats to the biodiversity? Means, like the biodiversity, what are the causes of the biodiversity loss? Means, what do you have to keep? Means what can cause the biodiversity to suffer? Threats means things which can cause, means what things biodiversity is suffering from, means what causing the biodiversity to have fear. Means like in nowadays they are talking about some species are being lost. Means what threats of the biodiversity? Number one, it is habitat loss and environmental degradation. Means what causes reduction of the biodiversity? In other words, what causes loss of biodiversity? Number one, it is habitat loss and environmental degradation. So means once I told you that the habitat, it is a place where organisms live. Imagine that when the habitat are destroyed. Once habitat are destroyed, organisms, they will lack where to live. Now they are going to be are going to make extinction. They're going to be died, all of them. Now we're going to lose those kind of species. So deforestation, agricultural expansion, and bush burning lead to significant habitat destruction. Loss of habitat such as savanna in Kagera National Park, you know, Kagera, results in the species extinction like a white rhinoceros. Those are the example of the species which are being extincted as a result of the loss of the habitat. So there is invasion of the species, invasive species. Invasive species are non-native species, means are non-local species, means that those species which come means from other place, not native. Means the introduction of the native species disrupt ecosystem by outcompeting native species. Suppose that here in the given place we are having the plants. Now there is another plant which coming from maybe another place which come now grow in that area. Now they will outcompete those which are existing. Now end up having the that plant which coming only. Those which are already exist, they're going to be are going to be removed. Now make what you call extinction. Extinction, it is the removal of the species in the habitat. Now in Rwanda, invasive species threaten, and then endemic species, means endemic species are those species which are native or local habitat and disrupt natural habitat. Another threat to the biodiversity are pollution. Industrial and agricultural pollution negatively impact biodiversity. So overuse of fertilizers cause water pollution. Disruption of aquatic ecosystem then affecting the fish population in Rwandan's lake. Means pollution also is the one which can cause biodiversity loss. Climate change means when you change the climate, some of our species are being lost. Global warming alter or change ecosystem, wealth patterns, forcing species to migrate or the face extinction. So species are unable to adapt to a rise temperature at the risk of the perishing, reducing biodiversity. There is what we call overexploitation. Overexploitation are overusing the natural resources like a forest. Once you are cutting down all of the forest, means you are destroying the habitat. Now the species will lack the place where to habit, where to live. So overhunting, overfishing significantly impact the species population. To mean that when you hunt more, when you take all the fishes in the water bodies, means you are making the you have the impact of the losing the species. So excessive fishing practices such as using mosquito net, super net, they can take all the fishes, either big or small. You know this mosquito net, they have a very small hole. Means once you are using them in the practice of fishing, you are taking all of the fishes, small and large. Means when you take the small, there is no future generation of those fishes. So let we have the consequences of the biodiversity loss. Means A grade student biology. How are you? I hope you are still interested. Like the effect of the biodiversity loss. Once you have the biodiversity loss, as you have seen the previously. Now, what are the effect? Number one, there is ecosystem instability. Imagine that you are having one species in your ecosystem. Like for instance, herbivores. They will eat all the grasses there. Once all the grasses are removed because you have too much herbivores, now you're going to end up having desert in your area because you don't have all the species. Means ecosystem instability, the rest of the species disrupt ecosystem balance. Food web will be disturbed, leading to the instability and increase of the vulnerability to environmental change. I hope it is understandable. Now it is a decline in ecosystem services. Means once you are having the biodiversity loss, means some services, as you have seen, there is a niche. It is role played by organism in ecosystem. Once that organism are not there, means their role are going to be decline, are going to be removed. Reduced the biodiversity affect essential services such as pollination. As I said, they are insect. Once you remove all the insect, what will do pollination? The problem, the pollinator agents you are removing. Now what do you wait for? So there is water purification. Those organisms like in the soil, they are help in the water purification. Once you remove, who purify water? There is nutrient recycling. Those bacteria, which are those organisms like fungi, which are like decomposers. Once they are not there, who will make nutrient recycling? Suppose that we are going to put the grasses, then we wait for to be decomposed. Because there is no decomposers, it will remain there. Another, it is impacting the food production and the human well-being. Thank you. So there is another consequence of the biodiversity loss. There is increased vulnerability to the diseases. So once in nowadays we are having the frequently diseases, Marburg virus, COVID-19, and so on. Those pandemic diseases are a result due to the biodiversity loss. Means like some virus or bacteria, their habitat are destroyed. Some parasites, some animals are their habitat are destroyed. Once they are destroyed their habitat, they come closer to us. Now they cause us disease. They cause us diseases. Biodiversity loss can lead to the disease outbreaks. As few species means less genetic diversity, weakening ecosystem resilience against pathogens. So there is economic impact, to mean that when there is a loss of the biodiversity, those things, industry will lack the raw materials. Loss of the biodiversity can harm industry reliant on the natural resources such as agriculture, fisheries, and tourism, leading to economic decline. Once you don't have the normal flora and fauna are decreased, the tourists, they will not come. Okay, now the economics you're going to suffer. Once you don't have enough natural resources, agriculture, everything is declining. Okay, culture and the aesthetic loss means, you have seen that among the importance of the biodiversity, we are going to enjoy that the culture, they're going to be a one which is going to be enjoyed. Once there is a biodiversity loss, culture are going to suffer. Many cultures are tied to the specific species and the ecosystems. Their loss diminish the cultural identity and now aesthetic value of natural landscape. So, you know, in Rwanda, in the patient Rwanda, we say abanyiginya, abenengwe. Niba tuvuze ngo abenengwe ugasanga bizihiza ingwe. So, ingwe niramuka igiye rero umva ubwo bwoko babugize ikibazo. So, many culture are tied to specific species and ecosystems. So, it means once species is not there, some culture will suffer. Climate change acceleration means once you don't have like a forest or those species which maintain the environment, once they are not there, they are going to be climate change and then end up global warming. So, biodiversity loss can hinder ecosystem ability to sequester carbon, exacerbating climate change effect. So, it means once there is climate loss, they cause climate change. Food security threats means food security will be disturbed. Okay, there is no food once there is no plants, once there is no animals. Reduce the genetic diversity in the crops and livestock, increase vulnerability to pests, those diseases. Remember, there is what you call, once you are making agriculture, they are dividing people to do what you call crop rotation. Means when there is the only one crops, only one species, there is increase of those pests to increase, now cause diseases, changing the climate condition, threatening the food security. So that's all about the consequence of the biodiversity loss. I hope you will going to able to list out. Means once you know that biodiversity, it is a plant and animals. When they are lost, the effect are easy for us. Means there is no food, there is no medicine, there is climate change, and you have to think in that way. When you meet with this question in your national examination, just take it as gift. Then now, end result, it is a positive grade in biology. Thank you. Conservation of biology of the biodiversity in Rwanda. So there is protected area, you know, nearly 10% of Rwanda territory is designed for protected areas, including the 3 national parks and various wetlands. Means ways to conserve the biodiversity in Rwanda, you should protect like a national park, then putting the rules which can happen, which are going to hinder those hunter, those who are making the over-exploitation of the resources. So the community involvement means the people should be aware of the protecting the biodiversity. So the government actively encourage the local communities to participate in conservation efforts. Incentive program are offered to promote the sustainable practice among local population. So there is wild protection initiatives. So efforts are made to combat poaching. Poaching should be prevented, and illegal wildlife trade through the laws, enforcements, and the awareness. Means by avoiding poaching then and avoiding illegal wild trade, buying those animals like elephants, they are going to be a way of the conserving biodiversity. So there is ecotourism development. Once you are promoting the ecotourism, it helps to generate renewable while raising awareness about the importance of the biodiversity conservation. So resort projects, initiatives aimed at the resulting the degrade ecosystems, the habitat, such as reforestation effect, planting the trees are being implemented. So research and the monitoring also are ongoing. The research and monitoring the programs help the track biodiversity and then change and access the effectiveness of the conservation strategies. So I hope the way to conserve the biodiversity is not a problem. You have to plant the trees. Apart from the planting trees, you have to avoid the poaching, avoid overexploitation. Not only that, avoid means once you know the cause of the biodiversity loss, you should avoid those. Avoid the habitat loss and so on and so forth. Thank you. There is another finally, it is education. Everything starts from education. Once you have the population which is educated about the awareness of the biodiversity, they will protect. Yeah, they will protect. Educational campaigns raise awareness about the biodiversity, and it's important for sustaining the conservation ethics among the public. Thank you. So we reach on the other important and ultra important, very, very important concept called, they are called Simpson index. So definition, the Simpson index, it measures biodiversity by considering the species richness and species awareness. So I will explain you those terms. But initially, species richness, it is amount of the species in the ecosystem. Now, what you call species evenness, it is amount of the organism among the certain species. Means how many organisms in the species. That is species evenness. How many species do we have in ecosystem? Are ecosystem richness. So I hope now by using the Simpson diversity index, we are going to calculate the amount of the species you have, and then amount of the organism in each species we have. So the formula is here. I hope it's clear. Let me have the color. So I hope this formula is clear. Means Simpson diversity index, it is n minus 1, then capital N minus 1. So n which is small, it is the number of individual of each species. Number of individual of each species. This means species evenness. Now, capital N, total number of individuals of all species. So, let me have a look. Means, by having the answers of this Simpson index, we are going to make interpretation. Once this diversity, but here there is a mistake. Sorry for the mistake. So, let me change. This formula usually is not look like this. It is usually 1 minus this. Yes, usually the formula, it is 1 minus all of this. It is not just all of this. Thank you so much. So, when you come here again, the interpretation, when you take 1 minus this, means when you get exactly 1, it means that here your species are 0. You take 1 minus 0, now you get 0. Means when you get the number closer to 1, it means you don't have your diversity are low. Means you have a lower number of the species. Means, but when you have a big number here, 1 minus big number actually is near closer to 0. Means once your Simpson diversity index is closer to 0, it means that you have more species. Means you take 1 minus big number to get it closer to 0. That means you have more species. It means that you have higher diversity. I hope you are able to understand how to make interpretation. Interpretation is very, very important in your exam. Means once you are seeing here, you are calculating the Simpson index, you get 1. Oh my God, there is no diversity in this ecosystem. But what you get once you get 0.1, oh my God, it is closer to 0. Oh, high diversity. Oh, you get 0.8. Oh, closer to 1. Lower diversity. Thank you. So, there is another Simpson index diversity with 1 minus d. Their purpose is to find the probability of 2 random selected individuals among 2 different species. So, interpretation, higher value indicate the greater diversity. I hope you are seeing the difference. There is another Simpson reciprocal index. Also, their purpose, it is higher value indicate the greater diversity. See their difference. Check which is asked. Am I asked D or D minus 1? Am I asked D over 1? So if you check, then make interpretation very well. So here there is an example. In a wooden quadrant was sampled for plant vegetation. Data in the table Find out the value of Simpson index. Simpson index, which is D. And biological diversity of sampled area. So, means they have made the investigation using this quadrant. I will teach you those sampling techniques. Even quadrant are there. Stay tuned. So they make the this investigation. They have seen those number of species. Wood rush number were 2. Those are the number of the species. Now there is wood 8. Blamble was 1. Yorkshire fog was 1. Sedge was 3. Means those are the outcomes of the investigation. So now they ask you to calculate Simpson diversity index. Hello A positive grade biology. I hope you are still interested. So how to do this question? I have seen this question in national examination, maybe 2021 or 2022. Open that, you will see this question like this, giving you the number of the species and asking you to calculate the Simpson index. How to do? I hope you are studying PCB or MCB. If you are studying PCB or MCB, you are doing also. Those with MCB, they are excellent in mathematics. Those with the PCB, they are studying with subsidiary mathematics. Hello, candidate, welcome. So at this level, what you will do? You will do like this. You will draw your table, including, remember, in the formula, we should take 1 minus n like this. We should now make the statistical data having those things. Number 1, you should take another column with n. I told you the n, it is the number of the species. Means here n here is 2. Now you will take 2 minus 1, which is 1. Now 1 times, you remember n is 2. 1 times 2, it is 1. Thank you. You copy this number here. So here in wood rush, we are done. So now how will you calculate here for Hori? You will take n minus 1. N minus 1 is 7. Now 7 times 8 is 56. Very good. Thank you. Now for Blamble, we are going to take n minus 1. N, which is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. Oh my God. 0 times 1 is 0. Thank you. Now for this one also, we will repeat the same. N minus 1, which is 1 minus 1 is 0. 0 times 1, 0. Thank you. Now for this one, you will take n minus 1, which is 3 minus 1, 2. 2 times 3, 6. Thank you. Now after calculating n minus 1 times n, you're going to have summation. Summation means when we come here, I will write that. When we come here, I'm going to say this is summation of n times n minus 1. Thank you so much. Means you are going to add all of this. Should add this, then the answer here it is 64. Now I hope we are done. So if you are seeing very well, also you should do add the total number of the species. So in the total number of species, as you are seeing here, total number of the species here, when you add, which is capital N, it is 15. Now what is remaining? It is just to operate formula. It will take 1 minus summation of n minus 1 times n over n, which is capital, minus 1 times capital N. Thank you. Formula is here. The solution. Putting the figures into this formula. Very fantastic. Very, very easy. You have to replace. We have already calculated this. We are already done. This is 164. We already calculated this. But we calculated the n, which is 15. What will we do? We will take 64 as this one. Now we will take 15, which is capital N, which is here. Now we will take 15 minus 1, capital N minus 1 times n, which is this. Now you will calculate, PCBs and MCBs, they should know mathematics at least, subsidiary mathematics at least. Now D, which is Simpson Diversity Index, which is D, are 0.3. Very good, very easy. So now you should make interpretation. Is 0.3 closer to 0 or closer to 1? Very good. Is closer to 0. Means once it is closer to 0, you should have high diversity. Very good, very good. I hope you are going to be able to solve the question like this in your national examination. Go and get your 4 marks. Your 4 marks is waiting you. Thank you so much. So, you should understand, why am I calculating Simpson index? Number one, the reason why I'm calculating this, I should know the importance of the Simpson index are used in ecological. Means once you are having your national park, you should understand how many species I have. In this species, how many number of organisms are there? Oh my God. It provides comprehensive the view of the biodiversity. Means my biodiversity, is it complex? Means is it many organisms or there are few? Means this Simpson index, it show you how higher diversity generally lead to greater ecosystem stability. So means to know that your ecosystem are stable, you should calculate your Simpson index. Once you have closer to 0, it means that your biodiversity are highly diversity. Now, as I told you, this verb, it is not easy to differentiate species richness and species awareness. Many students are failing. But I hope at the end of this, you're going to be able to understand. I told you species richness. It is the number of the species present in ecosystem. How many species do you have? I have cow, sheep, goat, rabbit, and so on. Means the number of the species you have in ecosystem is called species richness. Now another is called species evenness. Even means just inside in your species, how many organisms are there? Means species evenness is the distribution of organism among the species. Thank you so much. In the species called the pig, how many pigs do you have in your park or in your ecosystem? Okay. Species richness, it is how many species do you have in your ecosystem. Now species evenness, how many organisms you have in your species. Thank you so much. Like in Homo sapiens, how many Homo sapiens do you have? Thank you. Now you should be aware of understanding what you call stability consideration. Stability consideration, it is the one of factor you should consider once you want to understand your biodiversity of your ecosystem. What are the difference? Imagine if you have dominance of one species. Imagine if in your park you are having only giraffe, which is eating grasses. I told you that when you have only herbivorous, in a few weeks, in a few months, you're going to have your desert in your ecosystem. So stability is important. Means high richness and high evenness contribute to ecosystem stability. But only one species, you will lack the niche or the role played by another organism. Now you will fail. So now today, like we are ending our video by talking about means now we are able to calculate the Simpson index diversity. So, but those number of species, to know that in the species richness, I have maybe 20 species, and also I have the 20 mice, or I have 20 pig, I have 20 grasshopper. How will you know the number of that? That is a sampling technique to access the distribution and abundance of the organisms. Means to calculate the Simpson index for the specific location, sampling must be first be conducted to record the number of individuals for each species. So various methods can be employed to access the distribution and abundance of the organism. Those are techniques. Number one are called sampling method. In the sampling method, means just to take a sample. You will take number. So in my ecosystem, I having means let me take this area to represent the whole ecosystem. That is the sample. Like you go when you go to the hospital, they ask you, can it means, oh my god, I'm suffering in my abdomen. Abdomen is itching. Means a doctor, they suspect that you have some worms. They go and bring your stool. Means when you bring your stool, you don't bring your all your stool in your rectum. No, you take a piece of it. You take a stool to represent your rectum, to represent your suffering in your body. Thank you. Sampling, you have to take sample. So randomly sampling, when you say randomly, it is probability. Means there is no consideration. Once you fall here, you take sample. So randomly sampling method, samples are taken from the various portion with the habitat, with the position chosen randomly. Means you will take randomly place. So there is another called quadrant sampling here. The square area is marked using the plastic frame or the stakes and string varying the sizes. Means you, like for example here, you will take things like a square of any size, then you put here, then you will only examine the organism which is falling the inside of this quadrant. The process, you count the species with the number within the quadrant. Repeatedly the amount count in the different location, provide accurate representation of the biodiversity. So there is another called the frame quadrants are going to be look like this one. Are another form of the quadrant sampling, as their name also they are quadrant, but this one they have name. A small pots used to isolate and standard area for studying distribution over large areas. Means you will take this one, this quadrant here you are seeing here, frame quadrant. Now you will put here, then you examine the how many organisms falling in this inside. So can be rectangular, circular, irregular, suitable for the plants or slow moving. Means this one, the importance of this are used for those organisms which cannot move, the slow movement, and some aquatic animals. Means once you use these techniques for like birds which are flying, you end up to have incorrect that, because you can put here, then all of them they like grasshopper, they can move, now end up having the wrong results. So there is other called the transient sampling. Definition, you are using the transect line marked at the intervals. Now the procedure is this one. Okay, you see this man is the scientist who are coming to investigate the number of the species which is here. So this is the line which is called it is called the transect line. You put here. Now you will measure organism which are aligning this line. So line is right out in the habitat. Now recording the species type and the number at each interval. Sampling may be continuously or systematic. So Bennett transect method also, they are the same. The difference, they are similar. The difference only they are used on a wider sampling area. I hope you are understanding this one. Line transect means in this transect sampling, you take this line transect. Now by having this line transect, you are going to examine those organisms near to this line. So there is netting. When you know netting, London, they know what you call supernet. When we say net, it is the method using fine mesh net to capture the terrestrial organisms such as insect, birds, but as well as aquatic like a fish. So you see they are in forms of like net. You will take it here. Now to understand the abundance of the species, usually those which are able to fly, you're going to put a net like this. Now end up just wait. Now you will only just measure amount of the organism, abundance of organism which are referred inside the net. Thank you. So biology, A grade biology. I hope you are still fun. I hope it is last slide. I hope this video I'm making sense. Continue, stay tuned. Another it is we are dealing with the sampling techniques. Among those sampling techniques, now another is called what you call mark and release, recapture technique. Means you will come in the ecosystem, you will mark some organism, and now you will release them. You will come back and you will take recapture. Now after taking again, you're going to now record your observation. Definition are useful for non-fixed population. Like remember those organisms which are flying like lizard and other, those mobile, means these are used for mobile organisms. Means you should understand how those organisms are moving along the ecosystem. What are going, how many are coming back. So the process, you will capture and mark individual and release them. After sometimes you will come back and recapture another sample to estimate total organism. Means those you will come, now you will put like a marker here like this. Now you will release them. You will come back after period of time and you see how many organisms they have my marker. Okay, this is the marker you put. Means, sir, some they have and they don't have. Means those which have the marker, you will conclude that are the one which are fixed in my ecosystem. But those without marker, they come after my sampling, after my techniques. So here you should consider that the N1, it is the number of which you catch and you mark. Means the first time you come, you mark the number you get, it is N1. So when you come back, the number you catch, either marked or unmarked, are called N2. Now, N3, it is the, means those you took, how many are marked are called N3. Now, the formula to estimate the population of my ecosystem, you will take N1 times N2 over N3. Thank you so much. So, you should be aware of this one, that this is an example. This one is taken initially. The student collected this one, they take, this is N1. Now they release. Second time they come, they take, this is N2 because they collected this one. Now only among of the 18, 12 are already have the marker, means that it is the one which I marked initially. Now after this one, this is an example, the solution. Are you ready? Take your time and now find the, estimate the population. N1 times N2 over N3. Very good. This is the solution. Now you end up having that your butterfly are 24. So I think I tried my best to simplify this unit 1 biology. I hope the introduction to biodiversity is going to be very easy. Take your time and then you are revise. After revising this all the unities from the unit 1 up to 20 in the senior 4, senior 5, senior 6, I'm going to making you courageous, then go and get your A level, A positive grade in your biology. Thank you so much. Thank you. Make subscribe if you think this video it is helpful. Thank you so much. Bye bye.